Hey Siri, what fantasy sports podcast should I listen to?
Beast the Odds. Fantasy sports and sports investing with your host, 12-time DFS champion qualifier and counting, 5-time MVP season MLB Fantasy Pros HR champion, back-to-back years.
Mastradamus.
Beast Dome Nation, you know what day it is today? It's not only April 1st, but it is also opening day of Major League Baseball season. Thank you for joining Beast the Odds tonight. You can catch every episode on Spotify. Just search Beast the Odds. They actually come out on Spotify before they come out on Beast Dome. So it's to your advantage to subscribe on Spotify. We're going to go through the Major League Baseball slate. It's opening day. This is exciting. I believe every team is playing on opening day, and if not, pretty much all of them are. It's important to also know with opening day that a lot of pitchers are not going to be stretched out to max amount of pitches. So let's go through this. We'll see what stands out, and we're going to be smart. It's opening day. This is ace versus ace. Hopefully there's some great matchups. We're going into this blind. This is the first time ever looking at this slate. It's approximately 7 hours until first pitch. There's 15 games today, okay? First game, Toronto, New York Yankees. Yankee Stadium, hitter's paradise. Ryu on the mound, Cole on the mound. Ryu does not match up well against this Yankee squad. Yankees are a bunch of power-hitting righties. Garrett Cole's throwing on top of his game. I like the Yankees offense to come alive in this one, really with no problems at all. They got so many beasts on that squad. Garrett Cole's going to pitch a good game. Look for the Yankees to win. Is it going to be part of the main parlay? It's part of the opening day parlay. Let's just put it like that. Yankees win. Cole pitches a strong game. Next up, Cleveland at Detroit. Matt Boyd taking the mound for Detroit, going up against the Cleveland offense that they have some guys that can hit him. Boyd could throw a nice game and keep this game low scoring, but something that will definitely happen is Shane Bieber throwing a very strong game against Detroit. This is why you draft Bieber for matchups like these. Not a lot of hitting on this Detroit Tigers team. Not a lot of guys that can hit him. Expect Bieber to throw a good game. Boyd should be fine just because the Indians do not match up well against a lefty, and Boyd is a strong lefty. But if I had to go on a side, I'd go on Indians money line, and I'd just go Indians money line. Cleveland should take care of that game. Next up, Baltimore at Boston. This Boston team is very underrated. Eovaldi takes the hill against an Orioles offense that really is not that great. Nothing to get too overly excited about here. Eovaldi should have no problem going through this Orioles lineup. And on the other side, John Means going up against a Boston Red Sox offense that has a lot of hitting, way more hitting than people are giving credit for. Expect that offense to come alive. Eovaldi to throw a good game. Boston's offense to come through. Boston takes that one. Next up, Minnesota and Milwaukee. Kenta Maeda going up against the Brewers offense that really isn't that strong. If he can get through Yelich, he'll have no problem at all. They do have some guys that can hit, but for the most part, Maeda gets through Yelich, Hirua, and it's pretty much smooth sailing from there. For Woodruff is a good pitcher, don't get me wrong, and this Twins offense does not necessarily match up well against Woodruff, especially because Nelson Cruz might not be able to make the lineup on opening day in an NL ballpark. So in the end, I would probably go under on the first 5 here. Under on the first 5 is a good bet. And on top of that, you can just go under for the whole game for Minnesota. and Milwaukee, because both pitchers should throw strong games here. 8 runs, that's a lot of runs. Next up, Pittsburgh at Chicago Cubs. Chad Cool. He's too cool for school, going up against the Cubs offense, who should be able to make a good home debut. Jock Peterson, his home debut as a Cub, batting in the middle of that lineup. Yeah, Kyle Hendricks just has to throw a good game against this Pittsburgh Pirates offense, and this Pirates offense just doesn't scare me. Cool has to be perfect in order for the Pirates to win, but I like the Cubs to take their home opener. Next up, we got an afternoon game, 3:05 Eastern. Aaron Nola against Max Fried in Philly. Now, this is 2 very even teams in what is both their ace pitchers. Nola going up against a Braves offense that is not as easy as it appears. That middle of the first 4 hitters are just all trouble for Nola. He has to pitch pretty much perfect in order to get around him. Acuna, Albies, Freeman, Ozuna, and Max Fried. I mean, he's going up against great guys with McCutchen, Hoskins, Harper, Real Muto. All these guys can get on base. Not a good game here. Wouldn't touch either side of that. A lot has to depend on the pitching. Next up, we got Tampa Bay and Miami. Glass now going up against a Marlins offense that, well, let's just put it this way. He should have a strong game. If Glass now is the pitcher that, Tampa Bay expects him to be and what he was really building towards in 2019, showed it in 2020, he should be able to have a good game here, and his, I was going to say home debut, but it's his road debut. For Miami, Sandy Alcantara, he's very tough to hit, and this Tampa Bay offense could have a lot of trouble hitting him. In the end, I like both pitchers to do their thing more than anything, so I wouldn't even touch this game because both pitching staffs can throw really great games here. Would you go under 7.5? I wouldn't even touch the under there, just because it's not like I just don't like it. Glass now has shown to be inconsistent at times. Alcantara, I don't know. That's not a game. There's too many games. We don't have to go with that game. St. Louis at Cincinnati. This is a good game for Luis Castillo going up against a Cardinals offense that actually can hit all the way through the line. So it's going to be tough for Castillo to guarantee a good start. Jack Flaherty had a rough spring. He's going up against the Reds lineup that can hit him too, all the way through the middle of their lineup. Castellanos, Votto, Suarez, Moustakas. They just got a lot of pop right there. Flaherty just hasn't been good. I wouldn't touch that game too early. Luis Castillo can throw a great game. Dodgers at Rockies in Colorado already. Clayton Kershaw taking the mound. He had a very rough spring closer, but at the same time, pitchers are just trying to get their arms loose. Wouldn't read too much into that, but you never want to go with a pitcher in Colorado. That's just cardinal rule. Actually, a cardinal rule is you never ever bet on a game in Colorado because a pop fly can do weird things in that ballpark. I would just completely pass on that game. 4:10, 1:10 Pacific time. Padres, Diamondbacks, Yu Darvish going up against Bumgarner. Darvish has, I'm going to say, an easy matchup because he can get past Marte, Peralta, Escobar, Walker. He shouldn't give up too much damage there. Back of that lineup is a joke. And then Madison Bumgarner going up against Tatis, Machado. This is a strong San Diego team. I like San Diego to start on the right foot. Yu Darvish to make his case for a potential Cy Young, and San Diego to win that game. Let's keep it going. Texas, Kansas City. So, Kyle Gibson making the season debut against the Kansas City Royals, who have a good middle of that lineup. Well, first, Merrifield, Benintendi was a good addition. Soler, Santana, Perez, Dozier. That's a middle of the lineup that can definitely hit Kyle Gibson. So that's a lot of trouble there. For Keller, while he should be able to throw a good game, Joey Gallo and Dahl are the only things he has to worry about there. Pretty much that rest of that lineup's really garbage for the Rangers. If Brad Keller was a strong pitcher, would be a dominant. I mean, it's possible that he throws a good game. Would we go Kansas City here? Probably not, just because we don't trust Keller that much. Next up, Mets Nationals. This is pretty much the prime time right now, 4 p.m. Pacific time. So Mets Nationals, and it's a prime time pitching matchup. DeGrom against Scherzer. This is Cy Young versus Cy Young. I mean, you can't go with any hitters, and you gotta expect both pitching to be perfect. So I wouldn't even touch this game. Great game though. Looking forward to watching that. Should be very good pitching. Wouldn't even touch it. Next up, White Sox Angels. Giolito going up against Bundy. Bundy pitched well last year, and he's going up against a White Sox team that, you know, not as scary without Eloy Jimenez in it. But there is no but. Bundy should be able to be fine in this one. I'm not too worried. White Sox can hit, but in Los Angeles, Bundy should be able to have a good home opener. Giolito going up against a good Angels team. Really anything could happen here for Giolito. Possible to throw a good game, but this Angels team can hit. Next up, so we're not going to touch that as the bottom line, is Houston and Oakland. This was actually a playoff series last year. Greinke against Bassett. Greinke showed he lost a lot last year. Wouldn't even touch him. Oakland can definitely hit him. Bassett, not a great starting pitcher as well. Wouldn't even touch that. For Oakland can definitely hit. Houston can definitely hit him. Wouldn't touch this game. Last but not least, we got San Francisco, Seattle. Gossman on the mound. Marco Gonzalez on the mound. Marco Gonzalez facing a Giants offense that really just is not that good. He could have a very good season opener. I mean, what's the word? The only thing that can get him is if he gives up damage to Solano, Longoria, and Flores. That's nothing. Buster Posey's no longer a threat. Gossman, on the other hand, he's got an easy matchup as well. Both pitchers should throw a really strong game. Over under 8.5. I would go under first 5 and under for the game. Now, let's do the main parlay of the day. That does not include over-unders. It's just not how it works. So the first game, going backwards, we have the San Diego Padres money line. Let's make the final decision there. Bumgarner, that's too tough. That San Diego offense is just too good. They have too many big-time hitters. Darvish should pitch a strong game. Bumgarner's in trouble here. Bumgarner's in a lot of trouble here. For him to throw... Yeah, Bumgarner's in trouble. And then Darvish going up against a lineup that he really should have no problem with. But San Diego's going to give him run support throughout the entire game. So Darvish, let's mark it as a W. Next up on our list, working backwards, we have the Cubs to beat the Pirates. Kyle Hendricks making the home opener against the Pirates offense that really shouldn't be that much of a threat. I'm not too scared of it at all. Hendricks, it's not a lot of pop he's going up against. He's got good control, but most importantly, yes, Chad Kuhl has shown that he can throw some nice games a couple years ago, but this Cubs offense, home opener, they got a lot of hot hitters. Jock Peterson might have been MVP this spring. I like the Cubs offense to win. I like Hendricks to throw a good enough game. He really doesn't have to do much. So let's put that on the mix. Next up, we have Boston money line. Let's confirm this. Eovaldi going up against an Orioles offense that really is not that good. He should throw a strong game. Santander is not 100% if he plays, but Eovaldi can throw a strong game here. The offense for Boston should definitely come through against John Means. The middle of that lineup, JD Martinez, Xander Bogaerts, Devers, Renfroe, they got a lot of pop, and even Kike at the leadoff spot. Bobby Dahlbeck, cannot forget about him. This Red Sox team can hit. I like Boston to win. I feel good about that one. Let's keep it going. We have Cleveland and the Yankees. So let's go Cleveland first. We know Bieber's going to throw a strong game. That's guaranteed. No doubt about it. The question is, can they hit Matt Boyd? Can they hit Matt Boyd? It's not really great matchups because Boyd could definitely shut down that lineup. It's just the middle, and the middle's not really that much of a challenge there. You know what's a good sneaky play is to go no on the first inning with Cleveland and Detroit. I like that play because both pitchers should throw. I mean, Bieber against Grossman, Candelario, Bieber for sure is not going to give up a run. And then Boyd, he's literally facing the 3 hitters that he wants to face. He gets those 3 hitters out, bam, we have a ball game. If he doesn't, then the Indians are going to take that game. And the Indians can still take that game regardless. So that's a good little insurance play to throw on the side. Could hit as well. All right, next up, Toronto Yankees. You know what? This is just too tough of a matchup for you. Garrett Cole could really throw a really strong game. Ryu's got to be perfect, and I just don't see that happening. Yankees have a better bullpen. Chapman won't be there, but Yankees still have a lot of depth in that bullpen. But Garrett Cole's just throwing amazing, really on top of it all. But let's not forget, this Blue Jays team can hit, and like Colorado, Yankee Stadium does have that offensive factor that you almost don't want to put in. So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the best parlay of the day is to go with Boston, San Diego, Chicago Cubs. You got the other picks there. Enjoy opening day baseball. If you want all of my picks for the entire season, send an email to beast@beastdome.com. Enjoy the action. Beast!